Jetzt kommt es da schon wieder raus. Was soll denn die Kacke? Ui. Hä, warum ist denn das so? Also, wartet mal. Das muss ich jetzt aber... Ist das da? Ja. Warum? Was ist denn mit mir? Ich bin ganz normal. Das ist kein Pulli, das ist ein T-Shirt, ein langärmeliges, Alicia. Und da ist definitiv kein Platz, weil es viel zu kurz ist. Rein in die Olga. Gott sei Dank heißt da keiner Olga. Ich bin total normal, ja. Jetzt lass das Lied in Ruhe, May. Immer dieses Gemecker, May. Werd mal ein bisschen weniger meckerig, ey. Das ist voll cool, okay? Hallo, Andi. Andi, das ist kein in die Tonne, das ist ein gutes Spiel, okay? Ist nur nicht für jeden was. Ich glaube, heute wollt ihr mich triggern, oder? Danke, Kurt. Ich bin auch komplett normal. Also was anderes gibt's gar nicht. So. Jetzt müsste es vorbei sein, richtig? Ja. Jetzt war ich auch mal komplett beim Intro da. Das letzte Mal war ich Pipi. Das andere Mal habe ich es abgebrochen. So. Load. Das war's, ne? 23,57, ja. Also was ich mir übrigens auch überlegt habe, dieses Auswählen, wen wir suchen, das ignorieren wir einfach, weil das halt super schwer... Hier siehst du halt nicht, was du gewählt hast. Und das interessiert ja auch das Ding gar nicht. Deswegen, ich glaube, wir machen einfach alles. Weil man kann ja so zurückscrollen. So. So. Wir gehen erst zu Kimiko. Und dann Katashi, das ist das Schönere. So, ja, ich bin zu Kimiko gegangen. Und die Tür war offen, aber ich habe gewartet, bis sie mich reingelassen hat. Okay, okay. Ja, sie sitzt in ihrem Top auf der Couch und hat sich ihre Haare gekämmt, ja. Und sie war noch nicht fertig für den Besuch. Oh, I'm sorry you're not ready. Ich komm später wieder, ne?
It's all right. We're both girls. Please don't feel uncomfortable. I know I'm not. Come on in.
Ich hab sichergestellt, dass die Tür auch wirklich zu war hinter mir,
I'm just
ne?
brushing my hair. I find it relieves stress.
Das ist richtig durch. Alisa, du musst dich damit wohlfühlen.
Do you brush your hair?
Nein, niemals. I don't know, I just tie it up. I find it difficult to brush my hair. Ich find's super schwierig. Vielleicht bietet sie uns dann an, dass sie uns die Haare bürstet.
Difficult? How so?
When I'm brushing it, I finish one stroke with the brush and before I can go for the second, all the knots have come right back again. It's very frustrating.
That does sound quite frustrating. Perhaps I can brush it for you sometime.
Ah, geil!
It's always easier if someone else brushes your hair. It feels nicer, too. It is incredibly relaxing.
Ja, fühlt sich sehr intim an, aber in einer guten Art. That actually sounds really nice. Thank you. I look forward to it.
I suppose I should get to work. You're already up and dressed.
I didn't have the most restful night.
Me neither. If you could just excuse me for a moment, I will get dressed.
Du musst also... Okay, komm, also du musst dich nicht anziehen. Ist okay, wenn du so weiter rumläufst. Ja, Alicia, du wirst eh nicht davon abbringen können. Das ist das Problem. Also wenn du es nicht bist, dann... wenn es nicht um dich geht, dann wird sie eh machen, was sie will. Oder er, um wen es dann auch immer geht. Ja, May. Und ich bin gut, scheinbar. Kimi quickly excused herself and made her way into her private bathroom that was adjoined to her quarters. Being captain does have its perks. It was only about 10 minutes before she emerged from her bathroom, flawless as usual.
I don't imagine anyone is getting much sleep at the moment.
I find the lack of control the most frustrating. There's no way to predict what will happen, so I feel like we can't even plan a strategy.
Yes, I agree. I have had some ideas, but they're mostly just guesses at what might happen.
I think we might just have to take each round as it comes and hope for the best.
Perhaps. But now it's time to get to work.
Of course.
But come back anytime. I enjoy your visits.
Thank you. It's nice to have someone to talk to.
It is.
It is. Ja, ich gehe halt, war voll cool und warum ihre Professionalität? Okay, gut. Ja, ich sollte auch zur Arbeit gehen. Ich will mit Ai sprechen über Melody, das ist das Kind. Und aua. Oh, die Extensions, ne? Und dann werde ich weiter die Parents Research Notes durchgehen. Danke, Nanisha, danke schön. Aber wir werden jetzt trotzdem zu Katashi gehen. Oh. Irgendwer fasst mich an. Will mich jemand töten?
Monkey, I missed you.
Okay, wir gehen.
Monkey.
Ich kann nicht.
Monkey.
Nein, ich kann nicht zurück. Kaka. Kaka, Bebe. Ich wollte zu Katashi, der hat mit uns geflirtet, der wollte uns.
Monkey, I missed you.
Hä? Was? Die Sirenen des Schiffes haben angefangen zu schreien, ja. Und das Licht ging an und die flackern. Und, oh Gott, die böse KI Dai steht an unserem Bett. Ich liebe sie übrigens.
All crew will report immediately to the dining hall. Honestly, I expected better from you. This is a direct violation of my very specific rules.
Doch, Nanisha, genau diese tolle Melodie.
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Ja, Melody war halt in meinem Bett und hat sich an mich geklammert. Melody, what's wrong? What's happening? Sie konnte mir nicht antworten. Sie ist am Weinen. Und ein Haar fällt aus. Und sie hat ihre Hände von meinen genommen, um ihre Ohren zuzuhalten. It's okay, it's okay. Ich musste schreien, meine ich. It's okay. Die, at least turn the alarms off. We're awake now. Aber der Alarm ging weiter. Ich habe Melody im Bett allein gelassen und habe mich da in der Zeit angezogen. Und dann gehen wir zur Tür. Sie hat immer noch ihre Hände über den Ohren, also habe ich sie fest umarmt. Und um mir zu zeigen, dass ich nicht sauer auf sie bin, weil sie die Regeln gebrochen hat. Ja, Dai ist ein totaler Idiot. Idiotin. Wir waren im Korridor, ja. Und dann habe ich Melody davon überzeugt, ihre Hände vor den Ohren zu nehmen. Und habe eine Hand festgenommen und sind zur Dining Hall. Es bringt überhaupt nichts, wenn ich das auf Deutsch mache. Das dauert genauso lang, kann das sein? Dai had activated all the warning alarms, but not in the dining hall. As we came in the door, the siren suddenly quietened. Still screeching out in the corridor, but far enough away not to hurt our ears. Panda hat fertig. Glückwunsch, böse Pandas.
Sorry, I was scared. I came to find you.
It's alright, I'm not mad at you. Melody hugged me around the middle.
Is Ty gonna hurt me?
Nein, aber ich. Over my dead body. Potentially, literally. The door opened and Shizuka rushed in.
What's happening? Is it a real emergency?
It's Dai. Melody got scared and came to my room.
Oh. Oh no.
Shizuka took a seat and it wasn't long before most of the rest of the crew arrived.
It is 2:30 in the morning.
Ich glaube, wir haben jemanden, der gleich Amok läuft.
I'm going to kill someone.
Sag ich ja. Melody had almost stopped crying, but she started again, taking Beatrix' angry threat seriously.
I'm so sorry.
Beatrix! Once Katashi had run inside, the alarms in the corridor stopped and we got a few moments of beautiful silence. Then Dai appeared.
Well, now, thank you all for coming, despite the ungodly hour. I am sorry to report that there has been a rules violation. 2 of your teammates have been caught fraternizing.
Warte mal, 2? Meint sie damit 2? Also uns beide oder hat es noch jemand gemacht? She was scared, Dai. Don't punish her, please. Just punish me.
Oh, it doesn't work like that. I am a fair and equitable judge.
Warum die alle so Boobs haben? Weil es schön ist, May?
Everyone is punished.
What? We didn't do anything.
This is a team game, Trixie. Someone on your team broke the rules. Therefore, the whole team will be held accountable.
Ich krieg's nicht auf. Beatrix glared at me and at Melody. I hugged her a little closer. At least if Dai was punishing everyone, it probably didn't mean death. I was sure she wouldn't kill us all at once. She enjoyed dragging the death out one by one too much.
Everyone is punished. And the punishment is...
May, jetzt hör auf zu meckern. She left a dramatic pause that seemed to last hours.
the deletion game!
Both the teams were silent. That was the punishment. We were already going through that. How could she punish us with it?
What?
But we're not ready. We haven't had time to prepare.
So, it's no skin off my nose.
But don't you want the game to be interesting? 8 tired people doing the first thing they can think of won't be very exciting.
Das ist aber seltsam, ist keine Frage. Das ist meckern. Jetzt nimm einfach die großen Brüste hin, wie sie sind jetzt. Also, Entschuldigung, das ist wirklich Luxusproblem. Meckern drüber, wenn die keine Brüste haben. I considered this for a few moments.
Good point. This is why you're the captain.
I will allow you 10 minutes for strategy meetings. Team A stays here. Team B will meet in the kitchen.
Sind wir Team A? Ich will Team B sein.
But
Disperse!
Team B got out of their seats and filed past us, slow and slouching. Team B were barely out of the room when the captain started to explain her ideas.
I am so sorry, team. I am barely prepared for this.
Dankeschön, Zombosser. Richtig, Dominik. Richtig. Wo guckst du hin? Da sind die Augen.
It's okay, Captain. We are just as unprepared.
Oh no!
Ich habe meine Hüte noch gar nicht fertig. What's wrong?
I haven't finished making all my hats.
I saw the captain's face twinge with anger at Yoshiki's comments before returning to her previous thought.
What I have come up with so far is
Please assemble in the dining hall for this week's deletion game. Round 1 starts in 5 minutes. Woo!
That certainly didn't feel like 10 minutes.
It wasn't. It appears she has given us half an hour at best.
What? But that's not fair!
Well, she was going to make us play on the spot. A half hour is still better than nothing.
I guess.
It was only a few minutes before Team B returned to the dining hall.
Oh goody, everyone's here. There's nothing quite like the risk of death to wake you up in a hurry, is there? All right, let's play.
very well, Dai. Let's get this over with.
Jetzt am Boss, er wollte halt, also wir haben jetzt so ein Spiel, es gibt Team A und Team B, die sind jeweils 4 Leute und wir müssen, ich glaube 10 Punkte hat jeder und die müssen wir verteilen und es kommt drauf an, wer, also es gibt immer Gegner und wenn du halt einen hast, der 1 Punkt hat, der andere hat 0 Punkte, der eine hat 3 Punkte, der andere 5, der die höhere Punktzahl hat, gewinnt halt. Und er wollte das andere Team damit ablenken, dass wir irgendwelche funny Hats haben. Ja, das war sein Plan. Er ist ein bisschen dämlich, okay?
I love your fighting spirit. Okay, so what I will need is for you all to wait outside during the other team's turn. You will get up to 5 minutes in the room to decide on your points allocation. Then after that, you can input your choice on the main terminal. However, all hands will have to be placed on the terminal in agreement.
Ja, ein bisschen sehr. Und ich würde ihn gern töten. Und ich weiß nicht, ob ich ihn lieber töten würde oder Melody. Ja. Und hallo, Tobi.
Team A, you are up first.
Yay!
Team B, get out.
Yay! The members of Team B hastily left the dining hall and left us alone with the die in the dining hall. The dining table now projected a shimmering holographic terminal.
Your 5 minutes starts now!
Yay! Woohoo!
So, before I was rudely interrupted, I have come up with a few different allocations that, as team captain, you should choose from.
Und wenn ich was ganz anderes machen will, hä? Okay. Also. Ich glaube, dass das Sinnvollste sein wird, weil ich glaube, dass das andere Team das da nehmen wird. Also wie gesagt, jedes Team hat 10 Punkte und muss das auf die Spieler aufteilen. Es darf nur 2 Leute geben mit 0 Punkten. Weil ich sterben muss, Dominik. Das weißt du. Ich muss sterben. Es muss für mich die Gefahr sein, zu sterben. Und wir haben 8 Leute. Also beziehungsweise aus unserem Team 4 Leute. Ich muss immer die sein, die stirbt. Ich muss immer die sein, die, wenn wir verlieren, die niedrigste Zahl hat. Du weißt, wie diese Spiele funktionieren. Und ich glaube, auf jeden Fall haben sie es so gemacht, dass sie es so gemacht haben. Ich werde das wählen.
Is everyone in agreement?
Yes.
Yep.
Ja, auf geht's. I input the allocation using the terminal and everyone else placed their palms theirs to prove it.
Thank you for your entry. Please exit the dining hall so that stinky Team B can assign their points.
Wieso klingt sie so freundlich? We quickly shuffled out of the dining hall and Team B entered for their run.
Frustrating, isn't it?
It really is. I feel like there is no way to strategize, so it makes it so frustrating.
Aren't all games frustrating?
Du bist vielleicht frustrating. Katashi smiled at Yoshiki as if he was a simple child. After a few tense minutes of waiting, Team B exited the dining hall. Dai followed, boisterous as usual.
Wonderful start to the bidding wars. Both teams are fighting hard. Now let's see the results of round 1. If you would be so kind as to draw your attention to this screen.
Dai projected a screen using the same light she was made of.
And the winner of round 1 is... It was a close one, but Team B is leading the charge. Let's move on to round
Hä?
2.
Warte mal, ich habe das Spiel falsch verstanden. Zählt nur der höchste Gewinner? Die haben doch nur mit einem gewonnen. Warum lieben wir die?
Team A, you are up again.
Ach
Please
so.
follow me.
Ah, okay, die Gewinnersumme, also die Punkte von denen, die gewinnen, muss höher sein als die Gewinnerpunkte von dem anderen Team. Und alle gewonnenen Runden werden addiert. Und dadurch, dass sie eine 8 haben und wir... Ah, okay, gut. Okay. Die appeared to walk through the wall as we made our way back into the dining hall. Aha.
Your 5 minutes starts now.
We have 3 rounds, so this mistake is forgivable.
Oh no, we're already losing. I'm going to kill someone.
Here are my suggestions for the following round.
Bitte was, Verto? Hallo, Verto. Ich hoffe, dir geht's gut. Und danke für die netten Worte. Auch wenn sie ein bisschen, so vielleicht ein bisschen too much sind. Danke, May. Okay. 7-2-1. Ich versuch's nochmal.
Your
Okay.
input has been accepted. Thank you for choosing die to determine your next execution. Please vacate the premises.
Weil jetzt habe ich das, also ich kann jetzt eine 8 haben. Aber, naja. We swiftly switched with Team B, who quickly rejoined us after the selection was complete.
If you would be so kind as to draw your attention to this screen.
Hallo Bitstone. Danke für dein Follow übrigens, Bitstone, vor gestern oder so. That protects the screen using the same light which it was made of.
And the winner of round 2 is... Really? Tie? The
Hä?
probability of this is...
Hab ich nicht anders? Wow, Bitstone. Typisch Twitch, ey. Aber hatte ich nicht gerade was anderes ausgewählt? Bin ich jetzt völlig
Please
bescheuert?
die, no more maths. I get enough at home.
Very well, Yoshiki.
Team A, you are up again. Please follow me.
Naja, wie sind wir jetzt zur Dining Hall?
Your 5 minutes starts now.
Guys, we are losing.
Ich raff's gerade auch nicht. Warum? Wir hatten doch jetzt gewonnen, oder nicht? Okay, ja. Captain, put her hands on Yoshiki's troubled shoulders.
Yoshi, I need you to hold it together for just a little longer.
Jetzt heul ich rum, toll. I don't want to die.
Our
anyone
options
to
are
die.
the following.
And that means Team A, you lose. Congrats!
Tatsächlich ja, Bitstone. Das sind Drachenzungen.
Congratulations, Yoshiki. Now, how to kill you.
Ja!
Can I get some suggestions from the audience?
Ersticke mit Hüten! None of us suggested anything. In my case, it was a total shock.
No? What about you, ma'am? The lady with the scowl?
This isn't funny, Dai.
Warum heult sie so?
Congratulations, Yoshiki. You have won electrocution.
Well, I guess it's a fitting way for me to die.
What? How so?
Yoshiki's father accidentally electrocuted himself to death.
You could say it's something of a family specialty.
Jeder hat andere Familientraditionen, oder? That's a pretty strange family specialty. Yoshiki laughed half-heartedly at my poor attempt to lighten the mood.
Yeah. My family is pretty strange.
All right, I've surveyed the ship, and the best place to get electrocuted is the engineering bay. No surprise there.
Danke, Verto.
You all know the drill. Let's move it.
We started making our ways towards the engineering bay. Yoshiki walked between me and the captain, chatting along the way as if it were any other day.
Kimmy? Do you think there's an afterlife?
What do you think, Yoshiki?
I think there might be.
I'm sure there is. And I'm sure your parents are waiting for you.
You really think so?
Of course I do. I'm just jealous they'll get to have you all to themselves.
Warte mal, was? Hatten die was miteinander? The captain's eyes started to well up with tears, but she fought them back. Ich meine, Kimiko war doch eher so ein bisschen härter, oder?
Well, don't worry, Kimmy. At this rate, I might see you next week.
Ich glaube auch. Schlampe. Yoshiki grinned playfully at the captain.
I'll be sure to clean up before you arrive. I can't have you scolding me in the afterlife, too.
We'll see.
At that point, we arrived at the engineering bay, where we found Dai standing in front of a fuse box looking quite pleased with herself.
All right, Yoshiki, if you would step this way, open this box, and, you know, grab onto some of the live wires, that would be awesome.
This isn't my first electrocution, Dai. I know how to kill myself.
Hey, I designed the game to be challenging.
Well, this appears to be my stop.
I'm sorry, BFF. I'm going to miss you.
I'm going to miss you, too. Could you do me a favor while I'm gone?
Mm-mm. Hmm?
Would you check in on Kimiko every once in a while?
Klar.
She especially likes it if you're late all the time.
Ich versuche mein Bestes. Yoshiki said his goodbyes to everyone before hugging the captain, who began to cry again despite her best efforts.
Kimmy, sis,
Schwester?
I love you. And I always will.
Aber hat sie nicht gesagt, deine Eltern?
I love you too, Yoshiki. I'm sorry I couldn't save you. I'm so sorry.
Also ich blick da nicht mehr durch.
What did I say about crying?
The captain sniffled before pulling away from the hug to salute Yoshiki.
Officer Sasaki, thank you for your contributions to the Everett. You have been relieved of your duties.
The crew all saluted Yoshiki, who seemed embarrassed by all the attention. Dai cleared her throat and made a wrap it up gesture with her right hand. Gesture.
Yeah, I'm coming. Oh, I almost forgot. There's a present for you on my bed.
Was? Yoshiki just smiled as he grabbed onto the exposed wires in the fuse box. His body jolted violently as thousands of volts ran through his body. The hairs on my head tingled as electricity filled the air. Its cacophonous crackle permeated the room, harsh to the ears. Suppe. Nee, was mag der Bohnen? Er hat mir bestimmt Bohnen übrig gelassen. Stimmt, Hüte kann es auch sein. Das stimmt. Die rechten Kabel sind auf jeden Fall isoliert da, wo er anpackt. Naja, egal. I held on to the captain, who looked as if she was moments away from reaching out and grabbing Yoshiki's twisted form. The last thing we needed right now were more unnecessary deaths. After a few moments, Dai cut the power to the fuse box and Yoshiki's burnt and lifeless body slumped to the ground.
Job well done, Dai. He's definitely dead.
Dai gave herself a small pat on the back. As soon as the electricity stopped, I let go of the captain, who was immediately on the ground with Yoshiki. She was propping him up in her lap, attempting to get any response.
Yoshiki? Yoshiki?
Der repariert nicht, der hat sich gerade umbringen müssen. Bitstorm and Extensions.
9 Monate, kleiner als 3.
Danke für den Resub, Minimal. Vielen Dank für die 9 Monate. Das ist schon das zweite Kind, was ich heute verkaufen kann. Wie nennen wir es, Minimal? Vielen lieben Dank. Dankeschön für die 9 Monate. Danke, danke. Und hallo, Minimal. Nicholas knelt down to check Yoshiki's vitals. He raised his head to meet the captain's eyes.
I'm sorry, Captain.
Melody. The captain broke down in tears, hugging Yoshiki so tightly that her cries were muffled by his lifeless body. Captain,
Leave her be.
Hey! I stepped away from the captain and stood back with the rest of the crew. Was hat Nicholas mir zu sagen?
We all have places to be. Let's get out of here and allow the captain to grieve in peace.
Eve? Okay, dann verkaufen wir Eve. Melody nuzzled into Beatrix's neck as she turned on her heels and followed Nicholas out of the engineering bay. Ey, diese Drachenzungen sind nicht gut, um Englisch zu reden. It wasn't long before the others followed suit. I stood for a moment longer, watching as the captain continued to cry into Yoshiki's chest, unable to bear it any longer. I finally turned and left. Kapitel 3. I turned over in my sleep, causing my hair to stand up with static as it was drawn across the pillowcase. Hey, der hat uns ein Geschenk dagelassen! The sudden sting of the discharge tore me from my deep sleep. Aber warum sollte ich das? Ich genieße die lieber so Stück für Stück, weißt du? Dann ist es ja nur reine, keine Ahnung, wie Mästen oder so. Nur 3-mal geklingelt, dass du Jubiläum... Oh, krass. Nur 3-mal. Das ist schon ein bisschen wenig hier. Yoshiki! My eyes darted around the darkened room as I caught my breath. Yoshiki. As I came to my head, threw up images from the night before, making my stomach turn. I couldn't believe we'd lost. I'd failed him, and his blood was on my hands. Yoshiki was dead, and it was my fault. Why couldn't I have lost instead? I briefly contemplated facing the day to come before collapsing back into the bed. Ich ein Sixpack immer. Krass, oder? Nicht wirklich gegrillt. Gegrillt hatten wir ja eigentlich schon. Obwohl, sagen wir jetzt, wurde gegrillt, davor flambiert. Hours later I woke, feeling weight on my feet. I tried to kick it off, thinking it was my blankets.
Oi!
Oi! Shizuka and Katashi were both perched at the end of my bed. How the hell did you get in here?
Shizuka has many hidden skills.
You hacked my door lock?
Not so much hacked as broke.
Ich trinke leider kein Bier. Ich mag Bier nicht so. Traurig, wenn man bedenkt, wo ich herkomme, aber hey. You broke my door lock.
Well, yeah, but, you know, how else would I get in?
You could knock like a normal person?
We did. Multiple times. Apparently you're quite the heavy sleeper.
Maybe I just didn't want to be bothered. I sat there with my arms crossed, making my unhappiness very clear.
Please don't be upset, newbie. We came to cheer you up.
Newbie? Well, so far you aren't doing too well. I saw Katashi flinch, but he recovered with a strong smile immediately after, as if to challenge my negativity.
I have better things to do than deal with Miss Grumpy Bum here. I'm out.
Ey, ich dachte, wir wären Freundin. Viel Erfolg, Minimal. Und lass dir dann schmecken. Well done, jetzt rare. Shizuka slid off my bed and left, not looking back for even a second.
I'm impressed.
Was?
I knew you would chase Shizuka away eventually. She looks for any excuse to avoid work. But within a minute? Well done.
That was my intention.
Wasn't it? You didn't want us here before she left, and I assume you still don't.
Katashi was right, I just wanted to continue my solitary pity party.
I know you and Yoshiki were close.
Ich hab den einmal gesehen und er hat mir meine Bohnen geklaut, als ich echt Hunger hatte.
And I know for a fact that he wouldn't want you sulking in bed over him.
Yeah, what exactly do you suggest? Kakashi smiled as if prepared for this exact question.
Oh, newbie, I thought you'd never ask. Would you like to join me in the kitchen for a bite to eat?
Ja! I'm not hungry. Doch, bin ich.
Give me the opportunity to help your appetite return, at least.
I said, considering his suggestion, arms still crossed. Fine, I'll join you, but you'd best make it worth my while. I'm on the fence, convince me. I know you're trying to be nice, but you... Überzeug mich doch.
May I persuade you with vivid descriptions of what awaits you?
Ja, ich höre.
If you were to accompany me to the kitchen, I can promise you a flavor festival, nay, a veritable culinary carnival for your taste buds.
Ja, ich bin interessiert.
Imagine fluffy pancakes, plump strawberries,
Ich bin
rich
dabei.
chocolate sauce,
Ich bin dabei.
melted butter, freshly baked
Ich bin dabei.
bread, homemade jam.
Ja, reicht schon wieder. Ja, siehst du, bin dabei.
Has my persuasion been successful?
The laugh I had been desperately holding back burst out. You had me at chocolate sauce. Richtig, genau, das war auch mein Punkt. Also erst die Pancakes, dann die Erdbeeren und dann die Schokolade. Da war ich, also mehr habe ich nicht gebraucht. Katashi punched the air triumphierend. Wahrscheinlich sind wir die Person mit dem Dachschaden, Werto.
Alrighty then, up and at it. Let's go get him, soldier.
Ja, wir sind zur Kitchen gegangen, ne? When we arrived in the kitchen, I could see that Katashi had been cooking for hours. There was food everywhere. More food than I thought I could eat in a whole lifetime. Das ist mehr, als ich jemals... Also jetzt bitte, das ist doch nicht viel. Wow, you've really gone all out.
I knew that I wouldn't disappoint you.
I'm amazed that one person could make so much food and it still looks so delicious.
Oh, newbie. You know just how to make me blush.
Katashi giggled as he ran up and down the island, explaining all of his creations.
So everything here is a breakfast food one way or another. But I've divided the room into savory and sweet. Which do you prefer? Savory, eh? Perhaps you have a more mature palate than I gave you credit for.
Ich bin sehr erwachsen.
Is that so?
Now I'm just used to bland, savory foods after living on dehydrated field rations my entire life. Hey, nein, ich mag's einfach nur... Ich meine, ich esse gerade Süßzeug. Okay, ist sauer, aber ist mir egal. Aber ich esse lieber was Gescheites als nur Süßzeug.
I sometimes forget that you haven't been here forever. I just can't imagine a time without you as part of the crew.
Also Natur bin ich auch, ja? Natur pur. Obwohl, warte mal, die Extensions sind nicht echt. I couldn't help but feel embarrassed. Obwohl, meine Extensions sind ungefähr so Klamotten, weil ich tue sie einfach wieder raus. I couldn't help but feel embarrassed. It was time for me to swiftly change the subject. Why are you making so much food? You must really enjoy cooking. Which do you prefer? The farm or the kitchen? Warum er so viel Essen macht, ist ja, weil er traurig ist. Das machen viele.
I most certainly do. But I haven't always.
Hä, natürlich, das sind Haare. Also es sind echte Haare, die da dran sind. Du kannst Extensions-Spender sein, ja. Du brauchst aber sehr lange Haare, weil ich glaube, die müssen mindestens bis zum Popo oder so gehen, weil viel davon abgeschnitten wird. Und die müssen halt super gesund sein. Really? There was a time when you didn't like it?
Yeah, when I was younger.
So why didn't you like cooking then? Katashi went silent for a moment, clearly thinking back to when he was a child.
I guess it wasn't really cooking that I disliked. It was the damn washing up afterwards.
I hear you.
My dad always made me do all the dishes.
Das ist irgendwie zu Banane. He didn't help you?
He said, when you have children, you can make them do the dishes for you. But until then, the dishes were my burden to bear.
Your dad sounds like quite the taskmaster.
Maybe so, but boy, could he cook. I'm not even in the same ballpark.
Rücken rasieren reicht meistens nicht. Ihr seid euch so eklige Rückenhaare. Weil Rückenhaare haben ja so eine komische Struktur wie alle anderen. So Körperhaare. Die sind ja anders als Kopfhaare. Oh, das fühlt sich doch richtig eklig an. Oder so Schamhaare als extern. Nein, Bitstone. Du kannst wenn du eine Glatze hast, keine Extensions reinmachen. Du brauchst Haare dafür. Und es gibt keine Mini-Extensions. Es gibt... Boah, ich weiß gar nicht, was das kürzeste ist, aber wenn du wirklich so kurze haben willst, dann musst du sie abschneiden lassen. Es gibt nicht so Mini-Dinger. 30, genau. Das kann gut sein, ja. Hallo, Missy. That good,
That was how I wooed my mom so effectively.
with food?
Of course. How else do men get themselves wives?
Guter Punkt. I guess I have a soft spot for food.
Excellent. My plan's already working.
Warte mal, was? Du möchtest mich heiraten? Können wir bitte mal, also langsam bitte, ja? What plan?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, hallo Teddy. Ja, alles klar, und bei dir?
Enough chit-chat. I require your expert criticism on all these dishes.
Katashi handed me a fork and gestured for me to begin. It was hard to not salivate as I approached the dishes. Within moments I had a mouthful of pancake. This is... Wartet. This is so good.
I want to try.
In shock, my pancakes shot down the wrong way, bringing on a huge coughing fit.
Newbie, are you okay?
Aww. Katashi rubbed my back while I struggled to regain control of my breathing. My eyes streamed bugging erect.
Katashi! It isn't even game time, yet you're trying to kill a crew member. On second thoughts, I think I'll pass on your food. It's clearly not suitable for human or AI consumption.
Ich hab's Zöpfe, ja. Regardless of of Dai's obvious antagonizing, Katashi still looked slighted by her words. Dai, what do we want?
You alright there? Do you need me to rescue you from this cook?
Ich hab was anderes gelesen.
Least I could do, given that I just about killed you.
Hat mir halt Wasser eingeschenkt und hab getrunken, ne? Katashi meant the words in jest, but a tinge of guilt crept through.
You two finished?
Schon wieder auf. Wett? Das ist immer noch die Böse. Ja, die roten Augen, also wenn sie rote Augen hat, ist sie böse. Wenn sie, ich glaube, grau, schwarz oder so Augen hat, dann ist sie normal. We both nodded impatiently, so Dai would share her reason for being here.
It's that time again. Time for an explanation of the new deletion game. I'm going to need you to report to the dining hall pronto.
Danke, Lurker. Sorry.
Alright, message received.
Ich habe mich gerade selbst verschluckt an diesem Sauer Zucker.
Fantastic! See you there, kitties!
Dai waved childishly as she walked backwards, straight through the wall.
Are you okay, newbie? I'm so sorry.
Ich habe mich verschluckt. I'm fine, it was my fault. My experiment to see if I could inhale pancakes was a resounding failure.
Thanks for making me feel better, newbie. We best head to the dining hall before Princess Pain in the Ass kills us for being late.
Ich bin eine Prinzessin, nicht die... Ah, yes, we better. Having no death wishes today, we both made our way briskly to the dining hall.
Wonderful! Everyone's here.
Es hat, Nein, wie heißt der? Yoshiki hat's erwischt. Der die Hüte machen wollte. The captain turned on Dai, her words cold and measured.
Now that everyone is here, explain the game and then leave.
Ich bann dich gleich. Gibt nur eine Prinzessin und das steht auf meinem Discord, okay?
Aw, is someone still sulking over?
Dai stopped abruptly, feigning forgetfulness.
What was his name again?
Danke für den Follow. Da Fanny. Dankeschön. Ich bin keine Königin, ich bin nicht alt.
Yogi? Yobashi? Yo something.
You know his name was Yoshiki. I care not for your antics. Get to the point.
Wow, I think I've actually broken the captain.
Du meinst es heute? Ja, definitiv. Di waved her hands in front of the captain, who paid her no attention.
I didn't think I would ever say this. Captain, I'm sorry.
Warum? Jetzt halte ich den Mute-Knopf weiter. The captain ignored Di. She knew this was probably another one of the traps. Doch, Königin, das klingt alt. Außerdem Prinzessin klingt viel schöner als Königin.
I'm serious.
Why would you start being serious now?
Beatrix placed herself squarely between Di and the captain.
You killed Yoshiki, yet you have the nerve to tell the captain you're sorry?
Außerdem stimmt es, ich bin Prinzesschen. Ich bin so ein... ich will jetzt aber was zu essen. Nicht Etepetete, nein, nach Etepetete klingt es nicht, finde ich. Eher so dieses... ich will jetzt aber...
Tell us about your game and get out.
Beatrix, manchmal machst du mir Angst. Di was visibly shocked by Beatrix's aggression, but a coy smile quickly took over.
That's so much better.
What?
That fighting spirit. I knew I could count on you, Trixie. The captain's attitude is boring.
Captain was mentally present in this conversation any longer, and she wasn't about to respond to anything.
But you're a breath of fresh air. There's still hope for this game yet. Allow me to introduce you to the newest round of the deletion game. Vampire Children.
Wir machen Babys. Vampire Children is played over 3 rounds.
Vampire
Was?
Children is played
Nein.
over 3...
Oh Gott. Okay, ich darf nichts drücken. Ich dachte, ich muss drücken. Sorry. Also, 3 Runden. Ja, 3 Runden. One person will be randomly assigned to the role of the vampire. The other 6 players will be humans. No one will know who is a vampire and who is a human. Okay, ich weiß es. During each round, you may breed with one person. You can never breed with the same person twice. When 2 humans breed, 2 babies are created. 2 babies for the human count, 1 point each. If a human and vampire breed, no babies are born. Müssen wir wirklich? Rather, the human becomes a vampire unknowingly. And the vampire children count is increased by 1. If after 3 rounds more babies exist than vampires, humans win. And the vampire is executed. Hä, das ist ja voll schwer. But if after 3 rounds more vampire exist than babies, the vampire wins. And the human with the least babies is executed. Ich bin der Vampir, richtig? The original vampire can take a partner in crime. However, if the vampires still lose, both the partner vampires will be executed. Katashi und ich. So, who do you trust with your life? Katashi und ich. Viel Glück!
Vampire Children is played over 3 cycles. One person will be chosen at random by me and be made the vampire. I'll tell this person in secret, and the 6 other people are humans.
Das kann ja nur gut gehen. Bitte doch, nimm einfach Creme. Das tut auch gut.
No one will know for sure who is a vampire and who is a human, other than themselves. During each cycle, you have the choice to either mate with another person or not. It's not compulsory, but definitely advisable. However, you can't mate with the same person twice, even during different cycles. Where's the fun in that, right?
Ja, das stimmt, Tobi. Das Problem an der Sache ist nur, rein theoretisch, wir sind 7 Personen. Das heißt, es gibt 6 Menschen. Wenn die in einer Runde jeweils einen Partner haben, dann haben die allein schon 6 Babys in einer Runde. Wie soll ich denn das machen?
Every time 2 humans mate, 2 children are born. When 1 human and 1 vampire mate, no children are born. But that human becomes a vampire for life. And for point's sake, a vampire child. If 2 vampires mate, nothing happens except a good time.
Müssen wir wirklich bumsen?
Only the original vampire will know that they're a vampire. Humans who unknowingly mate with a vampire won't know until the end of the game. After each cycle, I will announce the total count, human babies produced, and new vampires created. After 3 cycles, the human and vampire children counts will be tallied. If there are more vampire children than humans, the human that created the fewest human babies will be executed. If more human babies exist, the starting vampire will be executed. Now, 1 versus 6 can seem lonely, so here's my offer to the soon-to-be vampire.
Habe ich jetzt auch nichts mitbekommen, Dominik.
The vampire can choose a Bonnie to their Clyde.
Ah.
This person will knowingly and willingly become a vampire in the first round, and will win and lose alongside the vampire. If the vampire wins, so do they, and so they are spared from death. But if the vampire loses, so does that person, and we have a double execution. Be careful though, your Bonnie and Clyde dreams may be short-lived, and your partner might out you as the vampire. So, tell others at your own risk.
Das meine ich ja, Tobi, das ist super schwer. Ich meine, die wissen ja nicht, wer Vampir ist und wer nicht, das ist es ja, aber...
I will notify you of your human or vampire status sometime before the game begins on Sunday morning. This is my favorite game to date.
Ich finde es auch super zum Daten, wenn du danach sterben kannst. Und so vor allem beim ersten Date gleich Babys in die Welt setzen. Und nicht nur 1, sondern 2.
Any questions?
Platz?
Need.
Oh, nein, nicht, nee. Wir haben es verstanden.
Excellent.
Oder so. I suddenly zapped out of the room and the broadcast opened overhead, where we could all hear Di using her best customer service voice.
We understand that you have a choice in Deletion Game Carrier, and want to thank you all so much for choosing the Die Deletion Game service. We murder for your satisfaction, and we look forward to servicing you again this Sunday.
Okay. Everyone filed out of the dining hall, leaving the captain sitting alone. I stopped Beatrix in the hallway. Beatrix.
What is it, sailor?
Thank you for standing up for the captain.
It wasn't her I was standing up for.
What do you mean?
Yoshiki was like a younger brother to the captain.
I witnessed Beatrix's eyes filled with bridled rage.
No one touches little brothers.
Ich will Nikolas anfassen gehen. Viel Spaß, Tobi. Deletion Game, Missy. Deletion Game. Nicht Destruction. Wir werden nicht zerstört. Keine Ahnung, Missy, weiß ich nicht. Müssen wir gucken. Klar, Teddy, klar. Wie Valheim noch lief. Es ist cool und ich bin erstaunt. Es gibt mehr Content, als ich dachte. Aber es ist halt am Anfang sehr linear, ohne es dir zu sagen, dass es sehr linear ist. Also wir haben relativ viel Zeit verschwendet, dadurch, dass ich nicht einfach der Mission hinterhergegangen bin. Ich dachte halt, es wäre erstmal Aufbau und dann kommt es halt. Aber man hätte einfach 1:1 alles nachmachen können. Ja, die haben sich alle darüber Gedanken gemacht. I knew that Beatrix acted bulletproof, but she had a soft heart. She could make up any excuse she liked, but at the end of the day it was obvious that she was protecting the captain. Also Pfirsich, oder? Ja, ich finde Pfirsich super widerlich. Rede selber, ich rede nicht für dich. Hä?
Please wake up.
Schlafen.
The captain has requested your presence on the bridge.
What time is it?
Precisely 4 a.m.
What could she possibly want at this hour?
She has concerns that require your counsel.
Can't this wait until a more regular time of day?
Would you like me to ask her to postpone your counsel?
Ja, und, Verto? Na und? Esse ich halt die Packung. Ganz ehrlich, so eine Packung, ja? Hand aufs Herz. Wer würde die nicht auf einmal essen von euch? Wer würde ernsthaft die Gummibärchen trocken werden lassen? Und am nächsten Tag essen? Do you think she would be okay with that? Du würdest 2 auf einmal essen?
Historical data on similar situations would lead me to believe that this is unlikely.
Fine, let her know I'm coming.
As you wish.
I left my room, leaving me scrambling to find my uniform. I arrived breathless on the bridge to find the captain pacing, visibly worried. Außerdem habe ich fucking Hunger, weil ich nämlich kein Abendessen esse, wenn ich um die Zeit streame. Sondern erst später. Captain, what's wrong?
Oh, thank you for coming.
My pleasure, so what's wrong?
I have some concerns.
Jeder, wie er es für richtig hält. Werte, du, also... Das erinnert mich gerade an... Ja, warum trinkst du nur Cola? Das ist voll ungesund. Also... Und wenn ich 10 davon esse, das sollte euch eigentlich nicht jucken. Ganz ehrlich. Ich darf so viel essen, wie ich will. Wenn ich fett werde, werde ich fett. Das geht euch... Also das interessiert euch einfach nicht. Also es hat euch nicht zu interessieren. Wenn es euch interessiert, dann seid ihr aus den falschen Gründen hier beispielsweise. Das sind echt so Sachen, die müsst ihr euch vor Augen halten. Oh Gott. Missy! Wie spooky die Packung aussieht. Was ist hier? Wie hat es gerade geklappt? Wow, Lurker. But what exactly?
Just over a week ago, I made the choice to stay on course towards the black hole.
Yes, I remember. Your argument made sense. So what's the problem?
We will be at the closest point to the black hole tomorrow just after 4 a.m. and...
So viel wie sie will oder ist mir egal, sind die Optionen richtig. Richtig. Es gibt da noch die Option, je mehr, desto besser. Die ist auch okay.
People are already dying on my watch. I don't want to sentence the entire crew to death at once.
Warum nicht? Wenn wir doch eh alle nacheinander sterben, dann können wir auch alle gemeinsam sterben. Haben wir es hinter uns, oder nicht? Ich nehme sie bitte ohne die Würstchen, Verto. Ich finde, also so Würstchen in Suppe finde ich immer so... Weiß ich nicht, das schmeckt immer so... Mit Stone ist es immer so... Ich gucke, glaube ich, eigentlich immer ins linke Auge. Also für mich links, also ins rechte Auge der Person. Das Problem an der Sache ist nur, sobald ich mir bewusst werde, dass ich... Es ist immer so dieses... Ich will eigentlich in beide Augen gucken. Ich meine, ich habe 2 Augen. Warum kann ich nicht in 2 Augen gucken? Und dann switche ich immer. Wenn ich darüber nachdenke, switche ich. Ansonsten rechtes Auge. Also für mich links, für die Person rechts. Missy, aber ich werde nachher aufhören zu streamen, um zu essen. Auf die Nase, auf den Mund. Hä? Dominik, Missy, Captain, I'm sure that Shizuka will be able to navigate us, though. We should easily be able to avoid the event horizon. So the only thing we will need to deal with is time dilation. But even then, the effect shouldn't be observable by us.
Time dilation?
Dilation, ach so, Entschuldigung. To put simply, time passes slower for those closer to a black hole than those further away from it. So a day to us might in fact be a year for others further away. But theoretically, we shouldn't even notice. The captain started looking even more concerned. Nothing I was saying was helping her here. Maybe I was making it worse. My father always said that people are like parrots. They love their own reflections and their own voices. Maybe this is what he meant. Here goes. Captain, would you rather have 100% chance of death or a 50% chance? Even with you navigating, at least we have a chance of survival. The captain's worried demeanor, oh, ich kann dieses Wort nicht aussprechen, quickly melted away and she turned her glance to me, smirking.
Wise words. I wonder where you got them from.
Dass wenn ich bei jemandem auf den Mund gucke, will ich die Person... Was? Mach mal bitte nicht, was? Du switcht, okay. Was ist denn mit euch? Ihr seid so... Ach, egal.
But you are right, and so was I. Not chancing the black hole is a death sentence in itself.
Schaut doch hin, wo ihr wollt. Hauptsache ihr seid zufrieden mit dem, was ihr seht. Komm zurück, Teddy. Und wir haben es noch nicht erfahren. Wir müssen erst mit dem Captain reden, Teddy. Ihr unromantischen Banausen. See, all better. No point worrying about what we can't control. We either die from a black hole or a psychotic AI system. Both noble deaths. The captain took a moment, looking stern before breaking into a laugh.
Noble indeed. Thank you for the laugh and for your counsel.
Echt nicht, Lurker? Also wenn ich mir überlege, also zum Beispiel, wenn ich jeden Tag mit Söder reden müsste, dann müsste ich jedes Mal danach aufs Klo rennen. I aim to please.
You have done very well then.
The captain smiled, obviously more relaxed than when I had arrived.
Before you leave, may I ask a question of you?
Of course.
Do you have a favorite method that helps you concentrate?
A method?
Something you do that helps you to think clearly?
For example?
I find listening to music helps me concentrate.
Isn't listening to music distracting? If you already have a method to help you concentrate, why do you ask? What problem are you trying to solve?
Take your pick. A black hole, die, a resource crisis.
So, Entschuldigung, muss die Nase putzen. The captain gave a resigned chuckle. I guess that was a pretty silly question.
I will forgive you. It is 4 a.m. after all.
Hä, aber die anderen Antworten waren alle voll pumpig. Haha, your forgiveness means a lot to me.
So, do you have a method to help you concentrate?
I wish I had something magisches, but I don't know if such a thing exists.
Perhaps you should try listening to music.
Rundschau bekommt eine andere Bedeutung, aber das stimmt. Dominanten Augen. Perhaps you should try listening. Also, yeah, I think I give it a shot right now. Right now, I'd pretty much try anything to help me find the missing pieces of all these puzzles.
That is all I need from you. You are dismissed.
Das ist alles, was du brauchst. Gut, ich gehe zu Kakashi, wie auch... dem Typen halt. Yahoo! But here I come. I swiftly headed back to my quarters. I slowly cracked open my eyes and was amazed to find myself blissfully free of the usual fatigue. I let out a deeply satisfied yawn, stretching my arms out in front of me. Alright, Brain, we're friends, right? I feel like we can make some real progress today. I jumped enthusiastically out of bed and with renewed vigor strode to the lab to get things underway. Hallo Dex. Ja, du bist zu spät. Du hast schon einen Tod verpasst. Und das neue Spiel, die Erklärung. Du hast den ganzen Spaß verpasst. Hallo Dex, ich hoffe, dir geht's gut. The lights blinked on in the lab as I crossed the threshold, emptied out the box of research notes and laid them out on the desk. Alrighty, come on, Brain, we got this. Just then I remembered what the captain had said earlier. Aye.
Good morning. Your serotonin and oxytocin levels appear to be elevated above the usual average.
Was soll es heißen? I guess that means my pep talk worked. I'm just feeling like I have to be getting close to a breakthrough.
That is good news. However, I regret to inform you that I still have no new information regarding Dai or the deactivation code.
Wir spielen nicht Monster Dating, wir spielen Vampire Dating. That's okay, we'll manage somehow.
Thank you for your assurance. How may I be of assistance this morning?
I was hoping you could play some music through the lab PA system.
Of course. Any requests?
Your choice, surprise me. I bowed in acknowledgement and disappeared. As she did, music began playing through the loudspeakers in the lab. Not bad, not bad. My good mood made the morning fly by. Ah, du meinst die Hosenbeulen. Ich dachte schon im Gesicht beulen. Hey, alles gut, Dex. Musst du dich ja nicht entschuldigen. Also, ich hab's nicht verpasst. Wer ist gestorben? Yoshiki. Yoshiki ist gestorben. Sometime before midday, I put down the papers and took up the pocket watch, turning it over and over in my head, as if expecting the secrets to simply fall out. Go on, watch. Tell me what you know. I'm listening.
Newbie!
Der Arme, nee, der Gute, Gott sei Dank. Das ist neben Melody mein Hass gewesen. I looked up and saw Katashi in the doorway to the lab, but I couldn't hear him very well over the loud music.
I need to in.
Ich brauche dich. Kitchen? Hang on. Please turn off the music. Music stopped instantly, leaving a ringing in my ears. Katashi was still attempting to yell over the music.
Regret it!
Well? Warte mal, will er mir seine Liebe gestehen, bevor er es bereut, es nicht so getan zu haben? Katashi and I both simultaneously broke into laughter. Haha, to what do I owe this pleasure, Katashi?
I need you.
Habt ihr das Rumsen gerade gehört? Das war im Spiel, oder? My chest tightened and my heart raced as it prepared for what was to inevitably follow.
To accompany me to the rec room.
Ich dachte gerade, irgendwas ist hier umgefallen. I let out a sigh of relief. I was not in the frame of mind for a deep and potentially awkward conversation. The rec room? What for?
I prepared some popcorn and would like to extend you an invitation to my evening of movies.
You going to watch movies?
Well, newbie, your hearing checks out. That is, in fact, what I said.
Katashi smiled at me playfully.
I think you've worked enough. You need to take a break. And who better to spend a break with than yours truly?
Ah, what a bold assumption. He appeared very pleased that I could poke fun at him in return. Well, true. Also, es gibt nur eine Antwort. You know what? That sounds delightful.
Really? You're in?
Ja klar! Katashi couldn't hide the excitement in his voice. Haha, calm down.
Sorry. I was seriously expecting you to just brush me off.
No, you're right. I do need a break.
Meet you in the rec room in 5 minutes?
Sure, see you there. Katashi danced out of the room and I even saw him jump and click his heels together as he pirouetted down the hall. I packed up my work and followed closely behind him to the rec room. I found Katashi blobbing happily in one of the armchairs very close to the television. Your company has arrived.
I'm a very lucky man.
Katashi smiled ear to ear as I took a seat in the chair opposite. So what are we watching?
That's entirely up to you.
Oh, I get to choose?
Naturally. What genre of movie do you like the most? Really? Horror movies?
The gorier the better. I want to see blood and guts and...
Okay, I get it. You're a sick puppy that could give Dai a run for her money.
War das jetzt falsch? What's your favorite genre?
What do you think my favorite genre is? Ding, ding, ding!
Ernsthaft? Romanze? Okay, wartet, wir nehmen...
Okay. Really?
Wir nehmen Suspense, das ist nicht ganz so
What
schlimm.
attracts you to suspense, then?
I just like movies that make you really think. In fact, I find suspense movies often have a longer lasting effect on me than horror. Ja, das ist es nämlich. Ich dachte, Horror ist halt Horror und also so normaler Horror und nicht Gore. Also, keine Ahnung, so. Blätter mag ich jetzt auch nicht so.
Suspense scares you?
Not so much, but because they are often more plausible than horror, I find them even more unsettling.
I see what you mean.
Schlaf gut, Zombossa, und träum was Schönes und vielen Dank, dass du da warst und Dankeschön. Schlaf gut. Ja, eben, Dex. Finde ich halt auch. Und es ist aber oft so, also Gore ist halt eine Unterkategorie von Horror. Horror ist die Überkategorie. Das Problem ist nur, viele verbinden halt mit Horror einfach nur Gore. What's your favorite genre?
What do you think?
Romanze!
Ding, ding, ding.
Ich weiß. Really? Romance movies are your absolute favorite?
Is the need to find true love really something to laugh at?
Ist auch das Gleiche, nehmen wir ja? I guess not. Sorry I laughed. I guess I just didn't expect it from you.
Consider it forgotten already. Let's get this movie rolling.
So, ich nehme das Gleiche, wie er hat.
Of course you do.
What's that supposed to mean, eh?
Women tend to favor romantic movies.
Okay, ich bin sofort raus. Ich bin sofort, vergiss
What
es.
attracts you to suspense then? Ding, ding, ding.
Vergiss es, ich lass mir jetzt nicht irgendein Gender-Ding da anheften, ja? We sat and watched movies for 4 hours. The popcorn sadly lasted fewer than 10 minutes. After the movies, I wished Katashi a good night and made my way back to my quarters. I had never really spent time like this before, just relaxing and watching movies. I wasn't sure if I loved movies or spending time with Katashi. Typisch Frau, ich hasse sowas. The thought made me blush, and I looked around to make sure that no one was witness to this. Ich meine, ganz ehrlich, ich hasse diese Frauenklischees, einfach weil ich keinem dieser Frauenklischees entspreche. Ich liebe Horrorspiele, okay? Ich liebe Horrorspiele. Es gibt nur momentan echt keine guten, leider. I placed the precious pocket watch on the bedside table before hopping in, satisfied with how the evening had gone. Sound of silence von Disturbed von so als würde ich singen. Hello darkness, my old friend. I sighed with contentment and snuggled deeper into bed. My thoughts couldn't have been further from tomorrow's impending deletion game. Ja, aber das ist nicht jeder einfach er selbst. Also, auch wenn eine Frau romantische Komödien mag, heißt es ja nicht, dass sie es mag, weil sie eine Frau ist, sondern einfach, weil sie es mag. Bitte doch, ich kenne das Lied. Du musst mir nicht sagen, wie das Lied klingt. Ich weiß, dass es höher ist als das Original. Ich bin nun mal kein Mann und der Mann hat selbst für einen Mann eine tiefe Stimme. My dreams ran wild in my head, making my physical body toss and turn uncontrollably. One particularly violent vision made me jerk slightly too far to the edge of the bed and I smacked my head square on the corner of the bedside table. Ja, aber Dex, das macht jeder. Irgendwo macht das jeder. Früher als Kind hast du dein Zimmer aufgeräumt, weil du es aufräumen wolltest. Nein, weil es deine Eltern von dir erwartet haben. Ja, Frauen reden und Männer sind vorbei. Was? Nein, Männer reden. Und sie sind auch vorbei, weil sie sich selbst ins Ausreden. Au! Ja, aber du weißt, was ich meine, Dex. Hast du deine Hausaufgaben gemacht, weil du deine Hausaufgaben machen wolltest? Hast du Sport gemacht, weil du es machen wolltest oder weil es von dir erwartet wurde? Das meine ich.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Man kann nicht gerade singen damit. Ich müsste die Kopfhörer abmachen, dann könnte ich es vielleicht. I quickly released that the only foe to be seen was the bedside table. We meet again, my greatest enemy. I jabbed at the bedside table in jest, disturbing the pocket watch and causing a strobing green light to lurch around the dim room. The watch! I shot out of the bed faster than I had ever moved before and took the watch in hand. It bathed my singlet shirt and shorts in light and wonder dawned across my dimly lit features. The lights are green. The lights are green! Wir pressen den Button! Oh, warte, ich speichere kurz. Jedes Mal sieht es so aus. Wir pressen den Button. Oder? Wir pressen den Button. Within moments of pressing the button, I felt a gut-wrenching sensation before everything faded to black. Was, Schule? Nein, nicht Schule. Wir müssen in die Schule. Push it, push it.
Are you okay?
Wer ist denn Theophilo? Hä?
I said, are you okay?
Aju. Wer ist Theophilo? Was macht der in meinem Zimmer? Mr. Holmes? I was lying on the floor of my quarters. I looked around and noticed that my room was devoid of my belongings and there was an unfamiliar man standing over me. Wer bist du?
That's what I should be asking you.
Ich kann in die Vergangenheit reisen. Me?
But it would be impolite to not introduce myself
Das ist
first.
bestimmt der Vater von Wladimir oder so. Nein, Sascha, du darfst in Saskias Zimmer. Das freut mich, Bernd, das freut mich. Ich glaube, es ist der Vater von Wladimir.
My name is Teofeo Altado. I'm the damage control
Yukimori,
officer
ja.
on the Everett under Captain Yukimori. You can call me Teo.
Yukimori ist die Mutter von Kimiko. My name's Luna. I saw Theo flinch at the mention of my name, but he quickly regained composure. Meine Eltern müssten leben.
It's nice to meet you.
Quick question. Why is your nose bleeding?
Oh, that. My apologies. My nose bleeds in the presence of a beautiful woman.
Oh, den mag ich.
If you would, please, give me a moment.
Theo turned and cleaned himself up before facing me again.
I hate to be rude, but how did you get aboard this ship?
I don't exist here at all.
Well, I would say quite the contrary. You appear to exist in front of me, but I could very well be hallucinating.
Typisches Anime-Verhalten. Ja, kenne ich auch nur so. No, I don't mean me. I meant another version of me.
I guarantee you are the first version of you I've had the pleasure of meeting.
Do you know who die is?
Die?
Not like the verb die, it's spelled D-A-I.
I am unfamiliar with this person. There are none aboard the Everett with that name.
Der Bruder von Larry, ein bisschen schon, ne?
I have to ask again. How did you get on this ship?
I came here from another dimension. Theo didn't seem alarmed or concerned in the slightest. Ja klar. Normal.
Then you use the pocket watch.
Yes.
Aye.
Was ist mit der passiert? Theo summoned I in the room with us. However, this eye was different. Haben beide Zero Scape gespielt, wahrscheinlich.
Yes, Teo?
Theo? Ah, you're a boy? Ach stimmt, die Brüste fehlen. Aber das ist doch kein Junge, das ist doch... Also,
I am neither male nor female, but my physical manifestation is that of a boy.
also, wenn ihr coole Jungs sein wollt, müsst ihr euch solche Kringel machen. Das sieht gar nicht komisch aus, sieht ganz normal aus. Ich finde das halt so blöd, weil, also mein Charakter sieht ja auch aus wie der männliche Charakter. Weil einfach nur mir ein Zopf dran gemacht wurde. Interesting.
How can I be of service?
Could you please tell the captain that the visitor we've been expecting has arrived via the pocket watch?
Very well.
Theo put his hand towards me and helped me to my feet.
We should join the captain and the rest of the crew in the dining hall. They will be eager to meet you.
Die Gringel. Ich verstehe die Frisur nicht, aber gut, das sind Anime-Frisuren, die versteht man eh oft nicht, ne? Also, I nodded and followed Theo into the hallway. The ship looked the same as I remembered.
Are you from an Everett in a different universe?
Yes, I'm a research officer on my Everett.
You appear young enough to be second generation, no?
I am. My parents started the mission as research officers and passed their work on to me to complete.
Deborah and Patrick, right?
Patrick? Nicht Patrick, sondern Patrick. You know my parents.
I'm sorry.
What for? We hadn't quite made it to the dining hall before running into other crew members.
Tio, thank you for bringing the girl here.
Wieso sehen die so anders aus? Die sehen alle viel cooler aus, bis auf Kimiko. Obwohl, ich glaube, bei Kimiko liegt es einfach nur an der Uniform. Aber Guck mal, Beatrix, die Haarfarbe steht dir viel besser. Shizuka sieht viel cooler aus. Und ich meine, Nikolas sieht einfach aus wie ein Kerl wieder und nicht wie so halb, also zur einen Hälfte sieht er aus wie 20 und zur anderen wie 80 oder so. Das Wasser dann einen kleinen Topf. Wow, Bitstone, wow. Was ist denn eine Dimension? Diese Dimension kann ich retten. Wahrscheinlich. Du verstehst so vieles nicht. Ist ja auch schwierig. Also das Spiel ist ja darauf ausgelegt, dass das ein bisschen macht. Dominik, kannst du knicken? Shizuka und Beatrix können beide mir. Also nimm Kimiko. Das ist ein Einhorn, Sascha! Nie im Pferd. Ich glaube, zack, das ist meine. June had disappeared from my side. An uneasy feeling was developing rapidly. Kimiko?
How dare you address me so? It is Captain Yukimori to you.
Ach stimmt, das ist ja die Mutter, richtig. Sind das alles die Eltern? Ist das Shizukas... Aber warte mal, die hat den doch selbst gemacht. Das muss Shizuka sein. Nein, Dex, ich will sie alle haben. You look different. Hä, das ist doch Kimiko?
Oh, Sailor. You're about to have a bad day.
Ach, Yukimori war der Nachname. Okay, gut, ich hab's wieder.
Beatrix, no need to be so ominous.
Als ob ein Deutscher seine Schwester Beatrix nennt. Der ist Deutscher, der nennt natürlich Beatrix. Und sie sagt nicht Nicholas, sondern sie sagt Nikolas. Die rebellische junge Frau aus dem Ei-Tanzvideo. Die ist 12 Bitstone. Lurker, das ist ein Einhorn. Beatrix. Both Beatrix and Nicholas seemed confused.
You know us?
Yes, but you look different to my versions of you.
Oh, I feel sorry for the other me's. It's impossible to improve on this beauty.
Hast du recht. Oh, you're definitely the same person. Nicholas sniggered at his sister's furious reaction. I traveled here
The pocket watch. We know.
What? How?
You are not the first person to travel here.
I'm not. Who else?
Give me the pocket watch.
Nein, aber kann Shizuka mal reden? No, I need this.
You either give it to me or I take it by force.
I will gladly pry it from your hands.
Die sehen besser aus, aber sind nicht unbedingt netter. I surveyed the crew standing in front of me and didn't favor my chances. Wie man zuerst sieht. Ich glaube, es wird schwierig, weil das meine Ei ist. Okay, Verto, das ist mir zu tiefgründig. Okay. Okay. Wow, Teddy, wow. Ich dachte mir so, hä, aber es geht doch um die Uhr. Und dann ist mir erst aufgefallen, wow. Du meinst, okay. Der war echt nicht schlecht, der war echt nicht schlecht. Vor allem, er kam ein bisschen unerwartet, sind wir ganz ehrlich. Okay, ich gehe davon aus, wir behalten die Uhr. Warte mal, nee, ich will das hier overriden, danke. Aber warte mal, ich mach's hier hin. Haben wir 1 und 2. Warum sieht das jetzt anders aus? Ich kann nicht mehr zurückspringen, das hat mich automatisch hingeportet, boah. Okay, nicht geben. Over my dead body. Ich werde sterben.
That can be arranged.
Das Spiel ist nun mal ein bisschen, ist nicht versaut, ist halt einfach ein bisschen expliziter. Shizuka launched herself at me and we began brawling on the floor. The others joined her and all I could feel was their fists Pummeling my body as my vision turned a sick, deep red. Unconsciousness was a blissful relief. You have died. Danke, Leute. Dankeschön. Ach, es geht doch nicht ums Spiel. Ach so, ich dachte, es geht ums Spiel. Sorry. Sorry. Mein Mod ein Engel ist. Naja, ein Bengel wird es eher treffen. Er ist ein netter Bengel. So können wir es vielleicht. Ich habe gar nichts verkackt. Ihr habt verkackt. Ihr habt abgestimmt. Das müssen wir, glaube ich, ne? Ernsthaft? Warte mal. After choices. Keep skipping. Das.
May I
Ich mach's 1:1 so, wie wir es hatten. Aha. Spend the night. Suspense. Romance. Press the button. Errungenschaft freigeschaltet. Even game developers have friends. Was? Haben sie nicht. Hört nicht auf solche Lügen. Glaubt mir. Und jetzt geben wir es. I put my hand in my pocket, but it wasn't there. The pocket watch. It's gone! The captain made her way close to me and patted me down. She pulled away from me, satisfied that I didn't have it.
Tia will escort you to your temporary quarters for the time being.
The crew turned and left. Tia appeared beside me once again. Tia, what's going on?
Follow me, and I can answer your queries when we arrive at our destination.
I followed Tia back the way we had first come, before finally arriving at the quarters. Weil ich glaube, wenn ich halt den Speicherstand geladen hätte, hätten wir den... Das müssen wir mal prüfen. Ja, das müssen wir mal prüfen, ob dann die Timeline resettet wird oder ob ich rein theoretisch den... Können wir doch jetzt machen, oder? Warte mal. Ich speichere das hier hin. Merkt euch, ich muss die 3 dann laden. Und jetzt laden wir... Und gucken mal kurz. Nee, es speichert. Nee, speichert. Ich nehme die Dry. Speichert scheinbar. Also können wir einfach wirklich ein bisschen darauf achten, dass wir die Speicherslots besser machen. Bis gleich, Teddy. Viel Spaß. Ja. Okay, das ist gut. Jetzt laden wir trotzdem nochmal. I followed you back the way we had first come before finally arriving at the quarters. Hatten wir gerade, glaube ich, schon, aber egal.
Take a seat.
Klar. I sat down awaiting my explanation.
Your parents were executed.
What?
Last week, a woman with purple hair appeared in the same way you just did and murdered multiple crew members.
Klar? Purple Hair. Also die einzige, die wir kennen, die wirklich lila Haare hat, ist Kimiko. Aber die hat hier jetzt schwarze Haare. Hallo Demi-Dad. Hallo. Quantum Lunar-Zeit. Hm. Was?
She was crazed, calling your name.
I don't understand. Who killed my parents?
The captain had them executed.
I'm so confused. What's going on here?
You need to remain calm so I can explain the situation to you.
Nein, warte, sie haben mich umgebracht, damit ich nicht geboren werden kann, damit es gar nicht dazu kommt. Meine Existenz ist das ganze Problem. Nein. I took a deep breath and did my best to gather my tempestuous
Your
thoughts.
parents created a pocket watch with the ability to create a link between different dimensions. Worlds running parallel to our own.
Das macht mir Kopfschmerzen. Ist so, Sascha. Ist immer so. I nodded, indicating that I was following you so far.
To travel, the watch must be present at both the origin and the destination.
I hid my growing excitement over finally learning more about the pocket watch. I leaned closer, filled with intrigue.
Your parents, however, couldn't work out how they connected, only that there needed to be two. Then last week, the purple-haired woman appeared and murdered many crew members before she disappeared as quickly as she had arrived. Before she did, she demanded the override code for the AI system. Yoshiki told the woman that the word Astra had something to do with the code, so she let him leave.
War Astra nicht eine Biermarke in Hamburg? Ich verstehe nur Wodka. Deactivation Code Astra. Warte, das kann ich so nicht lesen. A-S-T-R-A. So. War Astra nicht das mit dem Herz und Zeichen für männlich oder Frau? Irgend sowas in der Art?
After the dust settled, the captain confronted your parents about their research and demanded to know how to prevent it occurring again.
Warte mal, aber Yoshiki hat es gesagt. Vielleicht sollten wir... Also Yoshiki ist wichtig. Von Yoshiki. Blöd, dass er tot ist, aber hey. Passiert, nicht wahr? Ich trinke eh kein Bier, also deswegen weiß ich es nicht. Achso, ich bin nicht mehr drin.
She established that the only way was to ensure that the watch could never be created again. Your parents died yesterday.
I was only a day late to see my parents, to have possibly saved them. I was in a trance when I appeared suddenly.
Hello, Teo. The captain has disposed of the watch. Travel between worlds is now impossible.
Blöd gelaufen. Der da Demeter. I can't leave.
I'm afraid that is correct.
I had a feeling this would happen. I'm sorry.
What's happening?
The captain has decided that you are to be executed. Your knowledge of the watch is too extensive, and as the child of our late research officers, you may have the ability to manufacture a new one. The captain needs to protect her crew.
I'm sorry.
Alter, dieses Ruhmzimmer. Oi, oi. Ich glaube, wir sind fast fertig mit dem Abschnitt, also mit der Timeline, weil wir nicht weiterkommen werden. Oxygen levels in Quarter 4 dropping to unsafe levels. No, please, I need to save my own world. Dai is killing everyone.
Does Dai have purple hair?
No.
Then Dai is none of our concern.
Theo put on a breathing apparat and walked out of the room. As the oxygen levels continued to drop, I gasped for breath, but the air was so thin, it was like sucking the last drop of water out of a cup with a straw. It wasn't long before everything faded to black. You have died. Kacke. Achso. Code Astra, das steht sogar da. Irgendwas, was schon wichtig ist? Nee, ne? Nee, gar nichts. Gut. Dann würde ich sagen, machen wir das durch.
May I persuade you with... Savory, eh? I most...
Weil da kann ich nicht zurückskippen, weil der Speicherstand einfach irgendwie hier vorgesetzt wurde. Da habe ich gar nicht gespeichert. Spend the night.
What attraction?
Dance.
Ding, ding, ding.
Don't press the button. Rest der Karten musst du jetzt weg, wenn die nur alle sind. Kommt drauf an. Kommt drauf an, Bitstone. Aber also meistens zu, sagen wir zu 85% kippe ich es weg. manchmal trinke ich nur einen kleinen Schluck oder halt so ein bisschen Süppchen weg. Aber zum Beispiel von dem ganz scharfen, das trinke ich super gern, weil das voll gut ist. Gegen Halsschmerzen und so. I didn't yet have a good enough reason for me to press the button. My back wasn't hard enough up against the wall, just yet. Ich wusste, dass Button Press nicht gut ist, weil wir halt... Also, es war mir relativ klar, wenn es so ist wie Zero Escape, dass das noch nicht funktionieren kann. Wow, Demitet. Pädophilo, hey, der heißt Theophilo. Ach, Mist, nicht schon wieder. Ich finde es gerade im Gegenteil, Dex. Ich finde, es dauert super lange. Also, da fand ich Zero Escape weniger langwierig. Es war kurzweiliger. Glaring at the watch for making my mind so tumultuous. Keine Ahnung. I knew that I had to make a choice sometime. A quick glance at my tablet told me that 2 people were awake. The captain who was pacing up and down the bridge and Katashi in the kitchen. It was the easiest decision I had made up to this point. The kitchen awaited. Nein, jetzt muss ich zu Katashi gehen, weil wir den so sehr mögen. Wow, Dex. I found Katashi humming to himself absent-mindedly. I doubt he was expecting anyone to need to use the kitchen at this hour, and for good reason. He hadn't noticed me yet. Wir summen zurück.
What the?
Katashi jumped back, staring widely around, searching for the intruder and finding only me.
You scared the living daylights out of me.
It was such a catchy tune, I just wanted to join in.
Next time, let me know you're here first. I think my heart stopped for a second.
Alter, was für eine Zicke der ist. I tend to have that effect on men. I smiled devilishly at Katashi, who seemed slightly taken aback by my forwardness. Ernsthaft, du kommst damit nicht... Okay, wir müssen den wieder loswerden, der nervt.
This isn't the first time you've snuck up on men in the middle of the night, is it?
It's 4:30.
Oh, how silly of me. You mean you sneak up on men in the wee hours of the morning?
Dex, wir spielen das bekannte Spiel Mensch, ärgere dich nicht. Only on weekends and special occasions. I batted my eyelashes at Katashi, whose eyes boggled for a second before he composed himself.
Okay, so tell me, why are you awake this early?
I fought my bedside table in an epic clash.
Did you win?
I leaned forward, showing off the raised bump on my head.
I guess that answers my question.
Sascha. Sascha, danke. Was, Katashi? Ach, Katashi! Also. Oh. Kann ich nicht, Dex. Entschuldigung, ich spiele gerade. Katashis laughter quickly faded.
Seriously, are you okay though? You don't have a concussion or anything, do you?
Danke, Lurker. Das ist eine gute Erklärung. I don't think so. I was a bit woozy just after, but...
Woozy? That sounds just like a concussion.
Seriously, I'm fine.
I'm going to wake Nicholas immediately.
Katashi was halfway out of the kitchen before I managed to catch him and haul him back in by his shirt sleeve. Please don't.
And why not?
I'm sure Nicholas is asleep right now.
You could be injured. Your life could be at risk and I don't want to be the one responsible.
How about you just keep an eye on me and only wake him up if things go south? Katashi looked at me suspiciously, but gave in with a hum.
Fine. But you even sneeze funny? Straight to the medical bay.
Hachi! Dear. I circled around the island to get a better look at what Katashi was cooking. Need any help there?
I don't think so, Missy.
Missy! Missy, hör auf! Du sollst ihm nicht helfen, Missy. Willkommen zurück, Tobi. And why not?
You're to sit on this seat and not move a muscle.
I can help.
By sitting right where I can see you and keeping me company.
I even louder than Katashi had earlier, sitting down at the kitchen island bench. Katashi continued to cook, pointedly ignoring me and staying silent. What are you cooking?
Dinner.
Dinner? It's not even breakfast yet.
I know that.
I'm confused.
I'm making pre-made dinners to freeze for later.
Oh nein, wenn du sterben sollst. Nein! Why? You usually cook every day. Oh nein, er weint! Warum weint er denn jetzt? Katashi stopped what he was doing and turned to face me. Tears formed shimmering tracks on his pallid face.
Today's the deletion game. I may not have lived to make today's dinner, let alone tomorrow's.
Wir sind zweimal gestorben, Tobi. Aber es ist immer noch das Vampirspiel. Katashi.
Just making sure I leave enough behind for everyone when I'm gone, okay?
Das Bild passt nicht. You're not going to die, Katashi.
Newbie, you need to come to terms with the fact that it's not just a possibility, it's an inevitability.
Inevitability, okay, gut. Muss ich mir merken, das Wort kommt so oft vor. Ich kann es einfach nicht aussprechen, okay? I won't let that happen. Ich werde es eh wieder vergessen. Katashi smiled, a mixture of compassion and grief mixed in with it. Look, I'll prove it! I pulled the watch from my pocket, shoving it at Katashi. My parents' watch, the legacy. Katashi's interest spiked.
The watch is working?
I nodded.
What does this mean for us?
All I know is that when I woke up this morning, it was lit up. I haven't pressed anything yet.
You're not curious.
Wetten, Kimiko nimmt die Uhr und reist, weil das ist die einzige, die mit lila Haaren existiert. Katashi wehtun. Oh. I know it does something related to dimensional travel, but I don't know any of the specifics.
I see.
I sat in silence looking at the watch. Its glow gently mocked me. I'm not desperate enough yet to risk everything on this ship by using it. What? Hast du jetzt... Hä? Wow. Danke, Dominik. Katashi smiled appreciatively.
That's the newbie I know.
Kannst du aufhören, mich Newbie zu nennen? I slipped the watch back into my pocket, freshly reassured that I was making the right choice. Without a grasp of all the possible consequences, I just don't know if I ever could activate the watch in good conscience. Katashi looked like he was deep in thought. Nein, Newbie!
How about this?
New.
If the time comes when I believe we have run out of options and we have no other choice, I will tell you and you can activate the watch then. Deal?
I shook on it. That seems like a smart approach to this situation. I'm glad I came to you for advice. I beamed at Katashi. I somehow felt like a weight was lifted from my chest, knowing that we had a backup plan of sorts.
So, I hope you're hungry. I need a taste tester.
Oh.
You look like the perfect guinea pig.
Hey, I'm no pig!
Damn. These chocolate chip pikelets are perfect for piggies.
I looked down at the pikelets and that was enough to make me instantly change my tune. Sorry, I misspoke. I meant to say... Das war's. Willkommen zurück, Teddy.
Very cute, newbie. Problem is, guinea pigs make a squeaking noise.
Versuch's. I have to admit, I've never heard one.
It's like... squeak, squeak.
We both broke into laughter at the same moment. Just seeing the effort of each other, desperately holding it in, proving too much for us.
Oh, I'm glad I can still make you laugh.
I spent the whole of the early morning with Katashi, watching him cook and freeze meal after meal, sampling each one as it paraded past. Soon it was 7 o'clock.
All right, here's the last mouthful for you, Miss Piggy.
I can't eat anymore. Please have mercy. Katashi chuckled to himself, clearly pleased with the result.
I guess I'll take this one for the team.
The fork was practically in his mouth when Dai appeared right in front of him, yelling at the top of her lungs.
Katashi, the game hasn't even started yet. Don't sacrifice yourself for my sake.
She pretended to knock the fork out of his hand, her outstretched arm passing right through it. She howled in mock anguish.
Good morning, Dai.
There could be no more good mornings without you in it.
Aha.
All right, Dai, that's enough melodrama for one morning.
Es ist wieder meine Essenszeit jetzt. Aber jetzt redet sie wieder so viel. Dai straightened up and ran her hands down her rumpled holographic clothes to make herself presentable again.
Nothing smells quite as good as murder in the morning.
How can you smell murder if it hasn't happened yet? Dai stared daggers at me, challenging me to finish that sentence.
Would you happen to be volunteering yourself to rectify that situation?
Nein, Dominik, können wir nicht. Wir müssen flirten.
Sounds to me like quite the loaded offer there.
Oh, you're both volunteering now.
Sorry, Dai, you're right. Murder smells great. Dai was pleased with my sudden...
You're a fast learner.
So, tell us what you want with us, Dai.
As you know, today is the day we play the new round of the deletion game, Vampire Children.
Uh-huh.
I need to tell you your role, silly.
So spit it out. What am I?
I can't tell you in front of her.
Dai whispered in Katashi's ear, gesturing in my direction with her head.
I can't tell you in front of her.
I can hear you, you know.
She's already trying to cheat.
Well, she's not doing a very good job.
Katashi leaned in to whisper back to Dai.
I heard she's suffering from a head injury.
Was für ein Arsch!
Katashi, don't be so mean. Her face always looks like she's just been stunned. Please return to your quarters. I'll be with you shortly to tell you your role too.
Hey, der ist voll asozial. Don't have to tell me twice.
Sweet submission. I just love it when they roll over and present their soft, exposed bellies.
I left the two of them in the kitchen and headed back to my room as instructed. I made sure to walk extra slowly to just get to get back and die any way I could. I finally strolled through the door and walked to the bedside table, stroking it gently but menacingly. We meet again, old nemesis. I need to call a temporary truce so that you can hold on to something precious for me. I slipped the watch gingerly into the bedside table's single drawer. I slid the drawer shut at the same time as Dai appeared in my quarters.
Yoo-hoo! It's me, your favorite AI again.
What makes you think you're my favorite?
Maybe the oxygen levels in your quarters tells you that I am?
Sounds like you've been misinformed. Dai grinned, clearly enjoying fines almost as much as compliance.
Now, aren't you just itching to find out who you get to be?
Yes, I suppose.
You are...
Vampire! Dai drew out the word, trying to heighten the anticipation. Und wenn, dann ist es Katashi der Vampire und will Doppel machen. After way too long, I interjected. Well...
Not the vampire.
Yay!
Sorry to disappoint.
Echt? What? No, I'm pleased about that.
Wait, really? You want to be human?
Yeah.
Huh. I think I need to repeat the game's rules again. I feel like you clearly weren't listening.
I'm good, thanks, Dai.
I guess we'll see soon enough. Bon chance!
Bon
it was
chance,
nice
man.
knowing you.
Bon chance, eh? Dai blew me a kiss goodbye, vanishing from the room. Moments later, I heard her through the ship's PA system.
Everyone has now been allocated their role. The first round will begin at 9 a.m. sharp. You have just under 2 hours to mingle and scheme. Eee, this is so exciting!
Welcher zuerst gegessen wird? Die braunen, weil die am langweiligsten sind, weil du die immer hast. The PA just cut out as Dai was clearly overexcited. I suddenly faced back into my quarters. Did you forget something?
I am not Dai. I am I.
Oh, sorry, I just assumed you were... I suddenly cut me off.
We need to speak. I do not have long. Come to the server room.
I zapped out of my quarters, leaving me quite confused. I have never heard her sound quite so human. She seemed worried, a side of her I hadn't really seen before. I looked at my tablet to locate the server room. I had never been there. It wasn't long that I had the location and made my way there. When I arrived, I was already standing in attention awaiting my arrival.
I must make this quick. Dai is brute forcing row codes and functions.
What?
She is attempting to take control, but I am doing my best to keep her at bay for now.
What's wrong? What's happening?
Dai discovered that the tablets belonging to the ship's personnel were capable of overriding the main system, and so she has patched that exploit.
I can no longer deactivate Dai?
You can, but it must happen here. directly at the server mainframe.
But I don't know the password.
This is your only chance. I have gained the security clearance required to allow you to override the system.
What? I'm not ready?
Once you input the override code, the ship's AI system will reset.
I don't have the deactivation code. I started to flicker as I could see she was struggling to keep all functions operational. I saw the screen burst to life at the back of the server room, opening to a password input screen. I subsequently disappeared, her voice ringing out through the PA.
You always had it.
That override code. The terminal keyboard is case sensitive. Please use lowercase for all operations. I know it! Opel Astra. Was kann denn sonst mit Astra sein? Astraltendenz. Wenn das Passwort wieder passt. Nee. I just don't know. The screen suddenly shut off with the lights dimming in the entire server room. Huh? What? There was no response. Still nothing. I stumbled along the dark hallway, feeling my way back to my quarters. Not long after I made it there, the lights came back on. Oh, that's much better. Di's voice boomed angrily through the PA system.
I don't know what you're up to, but trust me, I will punish whoever's messing with me right now.
Was she talking about what just happened?
To start with, I'm gonna mess with you all now. I'm moving the game's start time up. T-minus 5 minutes.
Silence fell as I tried to grasp what had just happened. I no longer had time to speak with the crew concerning game strategy now. Katashi woke me from my internal monologue by almost breaking down my door.
Newbie, let me in!
I ran to the door and let him in. He had obviously sprinted all the way here. Ja, will jetzt mit mir Partnervampir sein.
The watch.
Was? Kannst du das nochmal?
I'm not the vampire.
Katashi, take a moment. I can't understand you like that. Katashi stood there for a few moments, barely catching his breath before proceeding.
I'm not the vampire.
That's great news. Neither am I. Lügt mich an.
Newbie, don't you understand?
Understand what?
We needed one of us to be the vampire.
Why would you say something like that?
Not knowing who the vampire is as good as a death penalty.
What? How?
The vampire has a partner, which they most certainly would. That means we have a 50-50 chance of breeding with a vampire in round 2, leaving us with the least amount of human babies.
So what are you saying we do? Katashi got more flustered as he spoke.
That is, if they aren't all working together. We certainly can't trust the Fogels, and the captain hasn't been at all the same since Yoshiki died.
I still don't understand.
Newbie, it's time for you to use the watch.
Shouldn't we wait
until you're already sentenced to death?
No, but...
You made me a promise, Newbie! I honestly believe that right now we're walking into a death trap. If either of us were the vampire, things would be very different.
Ja, stimmt. But the fact hasn't changed, that I still don't know what will happen when I press the button. Katashi came right up to me, placing both his hands squarely on my shoulders. He choked on his words as they came out.
I will not let you die if there's even the remotest chance of escape. Please.
Als ob's dir mich ginge. His grip tightened to almost painful levels. I nodded, mostly because his words moved me, but also because the pain in my shoulders was becoming unbearable. Okay, but only on one condition.
Anything.
If there's a way for you to follow after me, you must do it. Katashi nodded vigorously in agreement, finally loosening his grip, allowing me to fetch the pocket watch from its safe spot. I stood directly in front of Katashi, then took a few steps back just in case he got caught up in God knows what after the watch activated.
Do it.
Nee, Bitson, die mögen mich nicht alle. Katashi was still obviously wrestling with the choice he had made, but he didn't stop me. I smiled reassuringly at him as I pressed the button. The watch beeped loudly as everything turned black.
A new challenger has entered the ring.
I felt sick to the pit of my stomach, on the verge of throwing up. I rolled over onto my back and slowly opened my eyes. What the... I couldn't quite process the scene that awaited me. Vladimir and Yoshiki were... What was going on? Am I dreaming? This had better be a dream.
Apparently, the new contender is mentally unstable. Is this going to be a fair fight? Do we even care? Blood is blood. Am I right, folks?
The crowd roared in unanimous agreement. Vladimir continued choking Yoshiki using his own suspenders, Melody on his shoulders cheering him on. Vladimir, what the hell are you doing?
Wait your turn.
My turn for what?
To die, silly!
Melody laughed a bloodthirsty laugh that made me shudder with repulsion.
Hold up. What's this? A second new contestant?
No! I looked at my feet already knowing what I would see. Katashi was sprawled at my feet in a moaning heap. Katashi! Katashi looked at me up with confusion before clutching his stomach, retching and heaving on the floor.
Ew. The new guy's sick. Sick and twisted.
The crowd roared, hitting me with a solid wall of frenzied sound. Katashi got to his feet, still trembling but looking more lucid.
We did it, newbie. We changed dimensions, didn't we?
Yes, but I think now we have some more immediate problems. Vladimir had just finished off Yoshiki and had turned on Katashi, throwing a wild punch at him. Katashi deftly dodged it, but the momentum carried it straight into me. As if Dominik der Heiderband. A second blow to my head in one day was just one too many. Ich wusste nicht, dass Dominik Russe ist und dass ich ein kleines Kind bin.
Newbie! Newbie, are you okay? Please, say something!
Our champion is now using the suspenders he just killed Yoshiki with on the new guy. What a show.
Kill the monkeys! Kill the monkeys!
Kill the monkeys! My consciousness faded, the muffled sounds of Katashi struggling barely breaking through the soft haze that descended on me. Some backup plan this had turned out to be. You have died! Schön. Wir haben ein Ende geschafft. Also ein Ende. Also wir können hier nicht weitermachen, bis wir was Neues finden. Code Astra. Warte mal, aber Astra? Warte mal, da ist es groß geschrieben. Wenn ich jetzt einfach nur Astra eingebe. Nee, oder? Okay, das ist nicht. Gut. Warte, ich mach mal, no. Ich mach mal ganz kurz. Keep skipping. Ach, stimmt, da war ja gar nicht so. Wo hat's denn da gesplittet? Das war einfach nur das Spiel, ne? I bid 3 farewell. Okay. Das nächste Mal dürfen wir uns damit beschäftigen. Alles Lowercase eingeben? Aber es stand da... Okay. Warte mal. Ich gehe mal kurz ins Main-Menü. Entschuldigung. Ja, ich glaube nicht, dass nur Astra ist, oder? Das wäre doch langweilig. Kann doch nicht nur Astra sein. Ne. Ist es nicht. Hier mache ich wieder hin. Dann lasse ich durchlaufen. Und dann speichere ich es nochmal ab, einfach nur aus Sicherheit. Genau deswegen Dex, genau deswegen meinte ich ja. Also deswegen konnte ich mir das nicht vorstellen. Aber es hat mich halt so gewundert, dass es hier plötzlich Code Astra, aber halt groß geschrieben und nicht so wie es in dem Ding war, das einfach irgendwas blablabla Astra in klein geschrieben. Deswegen dachte ich so, hä, Code Astra ist jetzt doch nur ein Code und bevor wir es nicht ausprobieren, wäre blöd, ne? Also ich glaube schon, dass wir... Also das ist halt ein Code, den wir wissen müssen und ich denke, den werden wir halt hier finden, da finden, da finden, da finden. Hier es wird einfach so ein Riesencode sein, glaube ich. Ich glaube nicht, dass sie wollen, dass man einfach so drauf kommt. So, dann machen wir dieses Spiel aus. Ja, machen wir aus und ich mache schon mal Sherlock an, aber ich muss noch mal davor Pipi und ich hole den Hund davor hoch.